what is going on? I hope everybody is doing wonderful. I wanted to talk about the topic, a soul is a soul. And I wanted to talk about that because addiction is something that is so loud in this world, in this time. For me, addiction became very real at a very early age, not for myself, but watching people that I loved become addicted to drugs. And I really thought, okay, I was done with it, and life went on, and I became a mom, and thank the Lord I never, took chances to put me in a position where I was addicted to any type of drug. I could have. I tried things in my life, realized very early in life that I was not a person to do that type of stuff. I don't like feeling outside of myself or not in control of my thoughts or my physical body. But, addiction has been around me, and I'm sure it's around you, and it's around a lot of people. And when addiction hit close to home for me, and I experienced almost losing someone that I loved so much with all I've got right before my eyes multiple times, addiction changed for me. I always stopped and I gave people money and bums or anybody that I saw on the street, and I always help. But now when I see people, I make sure that I look at them like a soul. And even if I feel that I shouldn't give them money, I will go get them food, or I will give them what I can, something cold to drink, and I will talk to them, and I will give them a hug because I see them as a soul. In addiction coming very close within my home and seeing how addicts are treated, which, don't get me wrong, I understand that with addicts there's different levels of addiction and lies and them losing themselves in the addiction, and you have to set boundaries that you don't want to when you love them because you don't want to enable them. I get that, I understand that, but at the same time, I think the one thing that I kept saying to myself was, do not, whatever you do, stop seeing your loved one as a soul. Do not stop seeing the light in them, because they've stopped seeing the light in themselves. And I'll tell you what, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I made the choice to live as I chose to live and to be a vessel and an instrument. And if it wasn't for me really connecting with earth and the higher intelligence and the God that I believe in, and that's, I again was raised Catholic, right? And that's so I believe in Jesus, I believe in God, I believe. And if it wasn't for my faith, if it wasn't for what I know as a healer, there's no fucking way that I would have made it through this. There's no fucking way. For you to see someone almost die that you love, it's trauma. It stays in your mind, and you keep seeing it, you keep seeing it. And I thank God that we both have worked through this together, and that we are in a better place. And I thank God for having, allowed me to have the strength to be on this path and not be afraid to be on this path, because I don't know what I would have done if I wasn't on this path. I don't think I would have made it through that one. I don't think I would have. I would have fell and not been able to get back up. And that taught me to be compassionate with families that are going through, helping family members that are going through addiction, to be compassionate with the person that's going through the addiction. And yes, set healthy boundaries, but do not stop seeing them as a soul, because again, they literally have lost their own soul. They lost their soul. They're not looking at themselves as a soul. All they think about is the next time they're gonna get high. They don't even want to eat. And all of these things are real. They're real for them, and it's the life that they live. But we shouldn't give up on them, Yes, we shouldn't enable them. So there has to be a balance in how we do this. But I thank God for all that I am, all that that we can be, all that us human beings can be. Don't limit yourself, don't judge. It's very hard not to, because when somebody's going through the addiction, the words that are coming out of their mouth, it's, a lot of times they lie, they manipulate, they do what they have to do to get what they need to get, and I get it and I understand it, but even if you decide this is too toxic and I can't do it, I have to push back. Even if you decide that, you know what? Don't ever stop seeing them as a soul. Keep sending them healing. Keep lifting them up to God. Keep praying for them. Keep reminding them of how amazing of a soul they are. Don't let them go. Don't let them fall. Obviously free will plays a big part. I get all that shit. But still, man, a lot of times in this process for me, I wanted to give up. I just fucking, wanted to be like, what the hell, man? It's like they don't want to live anymore. They're literally playing with their life. They don't care. They're just so addicted that they can't see that the light anymore, and they're looking at this as their food, as their thoughts, as their emotions, everything that they are and everything that they've become. And you're looking at a person that you love like disappear before your eyes. Their eyes are empty, there's no light in them, and it's like you're trying to pull it out and you're fighting for them, and it is exhausting and it fucking hurts, and it's like, damn it, why me? And you're going through all the motions as to why this is happening to you, why you're seeing this happen. But the one thing you don't do is forget who they are, period. Do not forget that they are souls. Do not abandon them. Even if it is that you do not abandon them by holding their light up, by holding their soul up, by elevating it through prayer, through healing, through Reiki, whatever it is, don't forget that they're still a soul. A soul is a soul. If it wasn't for me thinking like this, my loved one would have died. And I'll go a step further. If it wasn't for me being who I am and trusting my guides in this spiritual journey, I would have, every time I found this person of OD'd, it was because I heard a voice, get up now, go. Get up right now and go. And right at that moment, I would find that person. I'm very thankful about who I am, and I don't give a shit about people that want to judge me, and I don't mean to be rude, but I'm gonna keep it real. I appreciate who I am. I appreciate who we all are. It's not just who Lillian is. Who you see in me is who is in you. You have the ability to not give a shit and put yourself in a box and not know who your soul is, to be a human being 120% and lose the ability to be the beauty that you came here to be, because we should be a certain way, and that's how it should be. And life is this way, and if it isn't this way, you're judged, just like Jesus was judged because he believed in what he believed in, and there was no one to shake him and no one to tell him any different. I feel that way sometimes. It feels that way when you think differently, when you know that that what you believe in is real, because you just can't deny it, because you're a better person, because it's made you humble, because you're not saying you're God, but you're accepting that there is God in all of us, and other people have things to say about that. I don't give a shit. It's real. So remember, don't dim your light for nobody, and don't dim the light of others that are going through addiction. Don't kick them in the face when they're going through addiction. It's scary to be around an addict because you can't trust them. You're afraid they're going to steal from you. You're afraid that, that anything that they're saying to come out their mouth is a lie. But you know what? You don't have to forget that they're a soul. You don't have to do that. You could lift them up in prayer. You could send them healing. Don't just say, get out of my space because this is too intense and it's too freaking hard and you're stressing me out and I don't give a shit anymore. Because I'll tell you what, I'm not going to lie to you, that would have been the much easier route for me. But I thank God I held on, because my loved one is doing a great job. But I seen him get kicked in the face so many times while he was down, and made me fight harder. made me fight harder. It made me remind him, look who you are. You're special. You're going through this for a reason. A lot of addicts come out of it and they become amazing counselors, amazing people. Because when you've lost yourself and thinking that something outside of you is gonna love you more than you can love yourself, you're already messed up. Whether that is a drug or whether that is a person, a place or a thing. And anybody to say that they have never seeked outside of themselves for true happiness is full of shit. Not true. Not true, guys. It's not true. I remember my first relationship, I would get in an argument and forget it. I wouldn't eat. I would just let my day go. Oh my God, the world ended. The world ended. It was the end of the world. No. Because I already started making the mistake of trying to find my sunshine outside of my own sunshine, outside of my own light, outside of my own self. And when addicts become addicts, they don't say, I'm going to become an addict. They don't choose that. Oh, let me escape for a little bit. And sometimes that one time is your last time, or sometimes that one time is something that you'll struggle with forever. So if you have somebody that is going through addiction, don't kick them in the face. Don't do that to them. Lift them up. I dropped somebody off. I'm on my way back. Rescheduled 3 of my appointments. They forgot something they need. Stopped my day. Going right back to where I dropped them off to give them what they need. Because you know why? Because they're still a soul. Because my human side wants to say, fuck me. Now I have to reschedule 3 people. Now I'm losing money, right? All these things. But I'm happy. I'm happy that I can be this. I'm happy that I can provide this, because that's resistance already. First day, person is in, and they might not be able to flow easily in their intake because of something that they need and they forgot. Well, no, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to treat them like a soul that they are, and I'm going to bring it to them so they can breathe easy. Because guess what? I love me, and I want them to love themselves. And if I need to take time to do that, and for anybody, you're in the Chicagoland area and you know somebody that's going through addiction, bring them to me. I won't charge you. Give me a penny for the exchange. Put the penny in my donation box. Let me give them a free treatment. Because that's how I roll. Because my word is everything. And I believe in what I believe in. A soul is a soul. Don't abandon them. Don't kick them in the face. Help them. You know, this feels good. It's a different day that I planned, but it feels so freaking good. Because she's in there. You know? She's in there. I left her there and I cried. Because I want to take it all away. But then I said, you know what? There's something greater than I can do than cry. I can lift her up. I can lift her up, and I could keep lifting her up. So I hope this reaches whoever is supposed to reach. Like I said, I'm talking on experience. I'm not talking on my ass. I'm not talking about assumptions. Addiction was close to me in my home. And it probably was the worst thing I could have ever encountered in the world. As a person, as a mother, as an aunt, as a godmother. But it's all good. And we're still standing. And we're doing well. And we're moving through it. Because I didn't judge that soul. So don't judge them. Figure out a way to hold them up. Like I said, even if it's pulling back, doing it through prayer, doing it through healings. Just do it. Lift them up. It's Lillian Suarez. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.